It Raw.
I'm Shania.
I'm Danielle. And I'm Tamika. And of course, it's a platform for men and women to come together where we always keep it real and raw.
As always, it's a judgment-free zone. No judgment or negativity will be allowed. If we see it, should be deleted and blocked.
Correct. And as always, here on Kickin every Saturday night at 10:30, we will always discuss, the topics and discussions that are, serious, important, and close to your heart, okay? Whether it's family development, sex education, mental health, political injustice, anything, you name it. We'll talk about it here on Kickin so make sure you always stay tuned in. All right.
So tonight is very deep.
Yeah.
It's going to get real. I feel like this is a subject that has needed to be talked about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us, we just brush it under the rug. And this is a serious topic. Let them know, Danielle, what we'll be talking about tonight.
Yes, so ladies and gents, we are discussing colorism, okay? Colorism, let me say that again. This is something that a lot of us honestly are made unconscious that we exhibit or we are experiencing because it's not really talked about, such as racism and whatever else, that's discussed. Colorism is something like a blindsided thing. So we're going to discuss
it's swept under the rug a lot.
Right.
Shania, let them know.
I do want to go ahead and say, because tonight's show is very deep, it can awake some feelings, emotions.
That's okay.
That's perfectly fine. I just want to say, make sure that you guys are respectful to each other in the comments. Please do not be disrespectful. Everyone's experiences are different, and we have to respect each other. If you are disrespectful, we will make sure that you're not able to comment, because we want to keep everyone respectful and
and this is a judgment-free zone. We want everybody to make sure that their voice is heard.
Right.
And this is a serious subject, like we said. So I don't think we should wait any longer. We're going to dive right into it, but we do want to see who's on here real quick.
Yes.
And we want to say, hey, we love y'all.
Everybody.
Tonight's show is about colorism. Like we said, if you're just joining us, please be a part of this conversation. Yes. And by the way, Miss D could not be here with us again this weekend. She have a few more weeks and she'll be back with us, ladies of Raw.
Yes.
Send Miss D some love.
But she is on the live tonight. She is on the live.
Yes.
And she says, hey everyone, love y'all, and you ladies look beautiful.
Thank you, D. We love you too.
Thank you.
So we're going to jump right into it. This is a serious subject. Please come in, feel comfortable. This is the judgment-free zone.
It's definitely a safe place.
And if you do see any of us take a breather or get emotional, it's okay. We are healing with you guys.
Right.
And we're learning as we go too. So let's get right into it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the first question of tonight. Is how does colorism affect employment and career opportunities?
Right.
I'll read that one more time. How does colorism affect employment and career opportunities?
All right. Which one of you lovely ladies would like to go first?
I think you should go ahead and go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So, hey, everyone. I'm Tamika. If you don't know who I am or you're just joining the Ladies of Raw. So, I think colorism affects employment and careers. I'll explain why. It definitely does. I mean, they ask you on every application what your race is, which honestly doesn't matter, but clearly it does. Also, when interviewing with someone of another race, even if you are more qualified than the other candidates, if they are looking for someone of a specific race or look, you will be overlooked. And that's how I feel that colorism affects employment and careers, because you can definitely go in there and kill it. I'm talking about kill the interview. You've been in this field for years. You're doing the damn thing, and someone of another race or whatever y'all want to label it as can come in and have no experience. All they have is the look, and y'all know what I say by the look. And they automatically have the job, and you're no longer, you're not even in the category anymore. You're not a candidate. They don't need you. And that can be really hurtful.
Right.
And that can cause a lot of issues for people who have been trying to get where they need to be in their career and in their life. So I just wanted to speak on that real quick. I don't want to be too long, but it definitely does. They constantly ask you on applications, which Why does that matter? You know why it matters? Because that shows a part right there of colorism and racism. And I also want to speak on racism and colorism later, because they do kind of go hand in hand. They really do. But we'll talk about that later. So I just want to speak on that, ladies.
Yes, that's definitely correct. I would like to go next. And I'm going to be reading from my book because I want to make sure I articulate correctly, okay? But I first want
to let them know, so it's just in case.
Right. So the first question that we're discussing is, how does colorism affect employment and career opportunities? But first, before I do answer that question, I wanted to read something about the human race that I did find very interesting and true as far as colorism, especially in the United States. And I read it I got it from Time, okay? But it says, skin color matters because we are visual species, and we respond to one another based on the way we physically present ourselves. So I can speak on that for me. Personally, that is true, because when I see a person, I automatically, by their looks, judge by their looks, or get how I take the person by their looks. I know some people may not do that, but most of the world do. Also, it said, add to that, like belongs with like, okay? Beliefs most people harbor and the bias and prejudice human beings have attached to certain skin colors, and we come to present day society where skin color becomes a loaded signifier of identity and value. So I just want to, right? I thought that was really good.
Thank you, by the way. I just want to clap for that because that was really deep.
I thought that was really good to point out that I, discovered from an author doing a story about colorism for Time. But as far as for me, I'm going to go ahead and answer the question. Colorism affects employment the same as man versus woman aspect, okay? And what I mean by that is men receive more respect, they hold more authority, they possess higher wages, they have higher paying positions, and they get farther faster than women in the employment and career world, okay?
Okay.
So when you take colorism into hand, it goes the same as with a lighter toned woman or man. They receive better treatment. So again, it goes back to the look. They are looked at consciously or unconsciously as a better fit or a better look, as Tamika said, especially if they are picking a colored person or a person over a person of a darker skin tone, okay? And so, it's all about who's going to make them the most money and who's going to make them look fit and who's going to be best for their company.
Who is the image?
Right, exactly.
That's really the truth.
Even if they have some underlying, BS underneath them hiring you. So again, like what Miss Tamika said, there could be 5 people in the interview room, and that lighter tone person, not saying that all those people interviewing are not qualified, because obviously some way they have to be qualified to have the interview.
But you can be the highest qualified person in that room.
Right.
And if you are not the look, y'all know what I'm saying, that they are looking for, you will not be chosen. You will be overlooked.
Right.
And the only way, it's sad to say, but sometimes in careers and opportunities, the only way you are at that level is by knowing someone who knows someone.
Right.
So I think y'all pretty much understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Shania,
So
how do you feel?
I'm not doing.
Well, we do have a lot to go over tonight.
I'm almost done with this with y'all. I'm almost done. But so basically you looked at as a pun. And I also wanted to point out another thing about darker tone versus lighter tone individuals in the employment and career field. A lot of times a darker person's words can be taken out of context very easily versus a lighter tone individual. They can be seen as threatening and be HR, reports and everything, whereas that wasn't the case because they are a darker tone and people are intimidated a lot of times by darker tone.
I definitely
individuals.
understand that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Danielle. I just want to say everything you just said, I agree with 100%. And you had some real valid points
Yeah, I agree
when
with
it
that.
comes to colorism. And I don't know what book you got that from.
Well, it was that
Time.
first quote. Time.
Yeah.
Time.com.
Oh, okay, time.com.
I have to
For
read that.
Time magazine. Yeah.
Shania, how do you feel about career opportunities in jobs when it comes to colorism?
I definitely feel like colorism is very major in employment and job opportunities and career. I feel as if I definitely agree with both of you ladies. I feel like y'all hit the nail on the head with that. I will say that in my experience, I am mixed race. My father is black, my mother's white. I have experienced where I have applied for a job and I put black. They did not hire me. I reapplied with that job and I put other. And I was offered an interview.
I get what you're saying. Wow.
Or I have applied for a job and I don't put anything because sometimes you get to bypass, you know,
Yeah,
they ask if you're a veteran or if you have any disabilities or what's your race. And sometimes I choose not to identify.
Disclose it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the times they'll call you for an interview and then they see you like, well, we kind of already filled the position.
Wow.
So they felt y'all tried to see what
Right,
you know.
or they'll call you and maybe listen to the tone of your voice or the way you articulate things, the words you choose to use, and they judge you based off of that. And they're like, well, you know, well, where are you from? Or tell me about you. And they base it off of that. So I definitely feel that is definitely an issue. Also, I would like to say that a lot of times if you are hired as a darker skin tone, it's because there is no other black darker skin tone person working there, and they don't want to come off as racist, or they have a quota or statistic to fill, so they don't come off as racist or
and they have to have a certain amount of colored individuals.
Right.
Wow.
But I will say I definitely feel like that is a prime example of colorism, and I feel like it is very important that we see that colorism is a problem and that it does exist, and it happens
in our everyday lives.
It happens directly in front of our faces, and a lot of people, I won't say are ignorant, but I will say are blinded by the world, the way the world has made everything be.
Oh yes. Yes, Shania. So I loved everything you said, and what you just said was nothing but the truth. When I say that the world itself, we are all blinded by the wrong things. And you know, it's crazy because I literally just had a talk with my sister, and a lot of us participate in colorism every day, and it's not okay. Everybody needs to realize what role they play in it and try to fight it together. So we're going to jump into the comments, y'all, before we get into question number 2. This conversation is deep tonight, but we want y'all voice to be heard. So join us. We love y'all.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Hey, bro. Mason Mop.
Hey, love you.
Hey, Keita. Thanks for watching, girl.
Hey, sis.
Hey, hey, Miss Hayes.
Hey, cuz. Thank you for watching.
She said she loved it and everything. We appreciate it. She said, born black billionaires. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, cuz. We love you.
And hey, Tika. Tika is watching.
Hey.
Miss D is in the comments. She said, I do believe colorism does affect jobs and careers. I agree with everything that you ladies said. Jobs and careers thrive off colorism, but I will go deeper into it as well. Not only do people get chosen over for positions because of it, but I've also noticed that in the job/career field, certain races or colors get more special treatment than others. Right. Example, in the entertainment industry, let's say two people of different color do the same thing. Say wear a see-through top. One will be called classy or fashion, while the other is put down for doing the same thing.
Yes.
I agree.
I
want to
that.
capture that.
Yes. And I would like to speak on that. That's
right.
Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit down the line.
Yeah, we're going to keep it rolling tonight.
Yeah.
But because we got a lot that we want to speak on.
Right.
But we love y'all. To the ones that's joining us.
Hey,
please.
Tasha.
Hey, Tasha T.
Hey, T.
Continue to join us. We love y'all. Please chime in on these questions because colorism is serious.
Right.
All right, we're going to go into number 2, y'all. We're keeping this speed right.
Yeah. So the second question that we are asking each other and you is what role does colorism play in dating and marriage?
All right, read that one more time.
Okay. What role does colorism play in dating and marriage?
All right, I'll start this one first. We'll just go in this rotation. So, colorism plays a big role in dating and marriage. Some people will only date and marry a certain race or skin tone. And even when married or dating, some people will cheat with people they preferred or feels have the best features for their eyes. Please do not let what I just said go over your head. I'm going to read that last part again. Some people will cheat with people they prefer or feel has best features for their eyes. So it's what the world says that look good. So if it fits the needs of their eyes and what the world says, then that's what they would prefer or want.
That's deep, girl.
I had to go deep because it really happens every day.
I agree.
I never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's so true. And as far as, better skin tone, better hair, a certain body figure. So it can play a serious role in dating and marriage. And I see it every day. I see it with friends and family. I see it on TV. So a lot of times, even if that's not what a person prefer, or I'm not even going to really say prefer, really won't. Let's just go ahead and keep it real and raw. They will go for that just because the world says that's okay. Oh, that skin tone is better. Oh, that hair is just not the hair that's right. This is the hair that everybody love or look for. That body type is not right. This is the body type that the world looks for. So even if they prefer the opposite, or I should say, in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of the world, they will still not take it there. It'll just be a cover up, if y'all get what I'm saying.
Right.
It will be a cover up in the eyes of what the world wants. So if you don't look good in the eyes for them, then it's basically just a sign of several, what I just broke down was a sign of several ways of colorism in dating and marriage. Like a man could come up to me today and, he might want me or be attracted to me or whatever the case may be. My skin tone, my body type, all that, my hair. But that's not what the world says. So in the back of his head, not saying he will, but he might go for something that the world prefers.
So like for example, I'm sorry, I'm
go ahead.
Like for example, a person saying that they don't like heavy-set people, but reality they do, but they just
because
not
the world,
saying it because the world portrays.
So I'm going to touch base on that because a lot of males and females will sleep with darker women or men and will feel as if that's okay to sleep with them, but they're not light enough to marry or to put out to the world that that's who they're with. And I honestly think that that's absolutely disgusting.
It is.
Because if you like what you like, you like what you like. It doesn't matter. Especially if it's real love or real like or whatever the case may be. Why does it matter what everyone thinks? And I think that's also an issue with everyone being blinded because everyone is going along with what everyone says. They're to be different. Like, you don't have to like what everyone else likes.
Exactly. Thank you for, know. So if you want to go next, we'll keep the same rotation all night.
That's fine.
All right. Read that question for him. Number 2.
So the question that we are speaking on right now is what role does colorism play in dating and marriage? So I just want to say that for me personally, I'm just now becoming aware that I was exhibiting colorism, okay? It wasn't until Miss Tamika, our great Miss Tamika, brought it up, the aspect of colorism to us, that I really dug deep into this topic and this matter, that I realized that I used to all the time exhibit colorism. I used to say, first of all, I just want to say I love all black people.
Let's clap for the black kings and queens. Yes.
But I realized that, and I'm so attracted to darker tone men, okay? I love darker tone men, okay? But I realized what I used to say against light-skinned men I was exhibiting colorism, okay? You know, I used to say, you know, oh, I love dark-skinned men. I don't even see light-skinned men. And I didn't realize that until we started talking about this, that, oh my goodness, you are doing colorism, but I'm supposed to, I'm promoting that I love my black men, but I'm saying I don't like light-skinned men.
When in reality, we're all one race.
Right. When in reality, yes, I like what I like and I prefer what I prefer, but I should have stated that in a different manner.
Exactly.
You know, instead of saying it that way. So I was exhibiting colorism. But yes, it plays a major role in how we select our mates. It does. You know, like Miss Tamika just gave some examples, but like I said, that's just saying like a person said they don't date white women because they are easier or dumb or whatever. And then they say they don't date black women because black women are angry and controlling or whatever. So when we do speak, we do need to realize that we are, or you could be exhibiting colorism. As I said, like what you like, right? Like what you like, but make sure you pay attention. And like I said, it wasn't until now that I paid attention that I was really going, you know, against light-skinned individuals, men.
I love that. I love it. I love it.
So,
how do you feel, babe?
I'm gonna say this. I feel it's definitely important to educate yourself. By educating yourself, you can avoid colorism, and watching what you're saying, because once you educate yourself, you'll realize what you're saying is not okay.
Exactly.
I'm gonna read something from my book, because I think, you know, I definitely agree with what you're saying, and I respect that you understood that was being shown exhibiting colorism. But saying I only date such and such dark or light skinned girls or guys is showing colorism. Skin color does not have an effect on the relationship quality.
It doesn't. But people really think it do.
Right.
And that's what's crazy. It's like, I've heard some, not to cut you off, I'm going to make it really quick. I've heard so many people say, oh, well, you know, light-skinned men are this way and dark-skinned men are this way. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, a person is just who they are.
Right.
And I just don't get it. I don't know. It's just weird. It's colorism, honestly. But go ahead.
If you rationalize, that's not
affect the quality.
Right.
It's
so then I'm going to continue on. If you're reacting to only physical attraction, then you cannot say that you will or will not be attracted to someone based on skin color.
Oh, I love that. Say that again. Yes.
Also, I would say that preference does not include demeaning the other skin tones or other races of individuals. If you do, then you're being prejudiced against, you know, and that's a whole different topic, but it corresponds directly with colorism and racism. You're prejudging these people based on their skin tone. And I will also say with relationships, and I'll keep it short, but also with relationships, a lot of people say, well, if you are having relations with a light-skinned person and you have a child, that child's going to be beautiful. Oh, that child's gonna have pretty eyes.
Oh, I hear that all the time.
Good hair, or as if a darker skin complexion or a different race, or, you know, Black, Latino, Asian, those babies or, you know, individuals are not going to be beautiful because they're not light. And I definitely feel like that is not fair. I feel like everyone is beautiful. It should not be singled out as only lighter skin complexions and good hair. What is the definition of good hair?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel, you know, hair is hair.
Right.
You know, everybody's hair have that certain texture or that certain something that makes it You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It, like, some people might be like, oh, my hair is so thin. Some people's might be thick, long, short, whatever. Like, it's too much.
Right.
So I definitely love everything you just said, Shania. I think all of us just pretty much went into a lot of depth on that second question. How does it play with, you know, relationships and marriages? So I see a lot of comments coming in. We're going to jump into the comments real quick, and we're going to keep rolling.
Again, hey, everyone. Thank y'all for joining us.
Yes, we love y'all.
With such a serious topic and discussion.
Colorism, yes, we loving that y'all really being a part of this because we know everybody has experience.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Miss D said, I can admit that I used to be guilty of doing this, and I learned I was being very insensitive and unaware of my ignorance. I had to learn and grow that we are one. Color does not matter. It's who they are that does.
Oh, yes. I love it, D.
That's true.
Miss Tasha T said, oh, you hear it all the time. Dudes always say I want a yellow bone as if being darker makes you unattractive. Right. Having a preference is fine, but you don't have to bash them. Yes.
Right.
Yes, T. Yes.
That's true, T.
I say that all the time. I say it all the time. And honestly, it's to the point where it's being said so much that it's in songs. Yellow bone, yellow bone, yellow bone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not... I don't know. Keep going, babe. I'm sorry.
You okay?
Yeah. Hey, Tika. Hey. Tika said it's a lot dating wise, but I see a lot of colorism. If someone is lighter, they are more attractive. When I hear a man say that, I'm instantly annoyed. I truly believe you can't love your skin or appreciate darker skinned people. You got a mental issue. Some just have preference, but where is that idea coming from? Right.
I love that.
I feel like it comes
I
from...
really love that, friend.
Yeah. I feel like it comes from back centuries ago,
right.
You know, from the house slaves to the yards,
I was
the field
gonna say,
slaves,
you know,
and everything,
while picking cotton because you're darker, the lighter skin tone is in the house serving, you know. We ain't going into all of that right now,
right.
But you know, it did start everyone from back then, you know.
And Tasha said, "We all have a type, but don't make you less lit." Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Have your preference by any means necessary. But when you start showing disrespect to another skin tone or race, that's where it just draws the line for me.
Right, and I realized I was exhibiting colorism to light-skinned men because I have my preference, but I will say that I didn't down them, you know, negatively.
Well, I will say that you did.
Okay, well maybe I did.
Yes, because we're real and raw.
So,
but as her sister, I had to bring it to her like, you know, you can't do that. That's not right.
Right.
So I just have a question. Well, more so of a statement. Gotcha. But I think a lot of people contribute being light-skinned to being mixed or foreign. But there are... They do that.
No, I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying, oh, wow.
Because I don't think that, you know, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'll see a person out and I'm like, oh, look at that white lady. What she got on or something. Just, you know, something random. But that woman could very well be black. That woman could very well be Latino or Asian descent. Right. And I think that we have an issue. Society has an issue with just because they're light skinned means that they're white or mixed race. Black comes in so many different shades.
Yes, it does.
I think that we don't realize that black women can produce an array of shades.
Right. They don't. That's one thing we can definitely produce.
Right. Array of shades.
Lots of
you can be as light as me, lighter, darker skin. You know, it ranges. And I think that a lot of discredit. You know, a lot of people discredit that.
Yeah. And what you just said was really deep, and I'm glad you spoke on that because, like she said, it's all shades. You just never know, and we can just assume somebody is a certain skin tone or race and not even know.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make them less black.
All right. Comments before we go to the third question?
Yes. Miss D
Sorry,
said,
y'all. We keeping it moving tonight.
It's okay. Miss D said it's too big of a deal of only dating a certain color. I agree. Having a preference is fine, but just only dealing with one color or race. The question is, what's the difference between a dark skin, light skin, or brown skin other than their color? Ask yourself, why don't you like another color, and is it a legitimate reason? More than likely, hell no. Right, I love it.
I love it. That was enough.
Right, that was definitely great.
She said what she said, and she meant what she said.
And
it
me,
was real.
I didn't have a reason. I just love the darker skin tone, but I didn't dislike light skinned men. It's just I'm so attracted to darker skin tone.
Right. Okay.
Right, which is nothing wrong with that.
Tika said, women too. I personally don't have a type, but I would never knock anyone from being different than me, lighter or darker.
Right.
Exactly, friend.
Miss D said, Preacher Shania. Tasha said, society has groomed us to hate ourselves, and it would take a long time to fix the self-hate.
Right.
Oh, wow. That was so real.
That's another conversation there.
Yeah.
That was so real.
Right. Yes. Now Jay is watching. Hey, Miss
Hey, sis.
And yes, that's all I see.
All right, so we love y'all. We're going to keep rolling because we have a lot of questions tonight about colorism. Please be a part of the conversation. This is a judgment-free zone. Let's get it into with number 3.
So number 3 is, what is the difference between colorism and preference?
So I'll go ahead and get into that if you want to read that one more time.
What is the difference between colorism and preference?
So I'm just going to use an example. Mine's going to be really short and quick. So colorism will be something as in, I don't like black women. Versus, I do not prefer black women. Y'all following me?
Mm-hmm.
It's no in between with what I just said. And that's all I have to say in regards to that one. I made an example out of that question. Danielle?
To me, simply, it's a difference. But let me read what I wrote. To me, the difference in colorism versus preference is basically that you're isolating a whole gender or color because of their tone. Simply.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and I will say that I think the difference between colorism and preference is the colorism comes into play when you're disrespecting another skin tone or race simply because they are another skin tone or race.
Right.
Preference is completely different. I prefer to date a black man.
Not, I do not like a black man.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So that's what I'll say with that.
All right,
And
let's
if
chime
your
into
viewers
the
out
views.
there, if you haven't been made aware that you were exhibiting colorism, I mean,
This is your time
to definitely check yourself.
That's why we're talking about this, because I will be truthful. I didn't realize that I had exhibited colorism.
Right.
And by educating myself on this topic, I can move forward knowing how to be better.
I think we all can.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do bring these subjects to my ladies, because I'm always thinking, y'all, I'm always brainstorming. And not every time when I bring something to my ladies, they can sometimes be like, because not everything we talk about is easy.
Right.
Y'all clearly see that.
Right.
But when I bring something to them because we really need to speak on it, they're always down with me. They have my back, and we all really wanted to speak on this, and we have more coming. But tonight, colorism was what we wanted to do this month because it's been so heavy. And I feel like nobody ever speaks on it. Nobody ever checks it. Nobody ever pays attention. And it's really breaking us all down. So I feel like we have to fight against it together. We really do. So if we don't have any more comments, we're going to roll into number 4.
Trotter, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Key. Thank you for joining us. All right, you want to go into number 4?
The question number 4 is, why do I, you, or we have negative attitudes about dark-skinned people?
Read that one more time.
The question is, why do I, you, or we have negative attitudes about dark-skinned people?
So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. First of all, I'm dark-skinned, love the skin I'm in, always have. So I just want to say I do not have negative attitudes about dark-skinned people. I love them. I am dark-skinned. But I will say the only reason people have negative attitudes on darker skin is because darker skin tone has always been a threat.
Right.
And do not let that go over your head.
That's simple.
I said what I just said, and if you don't get it, you definitely hit me up. Inbox me because I'll explain it. I'm going to say it again. I do not have negative attitudes about dark-skinned people. I love them. I am dark-skinned. But I will say the only reason people have negative attitudes on darker skin complexions is because darker skin complexions have always been a threat. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Since back then, we have always been a threat.
Right.
And I'm going to leave it at that. Go ahead, Danielle. Thank you.
That goes as well for me. I've not ever had any negative attributes or thoughts about dark toned people. I've said throughout this show so far that I love all my black men again, but I love my dark tone people. I just think, we as a race in general are strong, and it's just beautiful. So I don't have any. I've never had any against dark tone people.
How do you feel, babe?
I do not. I agree with you, ladies. I do not have any negative thoughts toward darker skin tones, darker skin people. I will say that I feel like society has a negative light on darker skin individuals because of the fact that darker African Americans were enslaved, and that has been taught school. The social medias, they portray light skin as more ideal. Darker skin tones are more to the back if you see them. I will say more recently, in the past, let's just say 5 years or so, darker skinned women, men and women, have made an appearance on magazine covers and fashion shows.
Okay, yes.
It's definitely been a lighter skinned world. Till here recently, when a lot of people have took a stand.
Right. Well, honestly, the reason why I'm gonna say this. The reason why, not saying that lighter skinned folks are becoming distinct, but the reason why the more darker tone is exhibiting because white America is becoming the minority. Okay. The darker tone, the mixtures. They all are now overpowering white America.
Right.
So, with that being said, that's why we are seeing so many darker tone or race individuals. So,
I agree.
I get that.
So we're definitely going to get into the comments here, you guys, before we get into number 5 tonight. We love y'all. If y'all are just joining us, we are touching on colorism tonight, okay?
All right, let's see here. Miss D said it don't get more simple, no more simple than that explanation. Tamika said it.
Thank you, D.
Miss Charter said, so glad I made it tonight. She also said, it's what people were taught. I could never. I love chocolate skin. Yes. She said, I used to wish I was darker when I was younger. I jumped for joy when my daughter came out and I saw her dark ears.
I love it too, girl.
I love it, Key. I love it.
Yes, society does, and they hate it.
They do.
And Ms. D also said, me personally, I don't have a negative attitude toward dark-skinned people, but I did in the past. Not date them and wasn't attracted to them. But like I said, I had to grow and get that knowledge, but I did not have a reason. But yes, society plays a big part of the dislike towards dark-skinned people.
All right, D. So while we go into number 5, I want to ask you, you said you didn't have a reason. So clearly you had a reason because you didn't prefer or you didn't like them. So could you please write in the comments what you meant?
Or was it subconscious?
Yeah, like, what did you mean by that? You said you didn't have a reason and you had to grow from it. But something there, you know what I'm saying?
Because like I keep saying with me, mine's was subconscious. I love my dark toned people, folks, but I subconsciously was exhibiting colorism. Like I said, I didn't think light skinned men were ugly or nothing like that. Like, it's beautiful.
Right.
I mean, Omar Hardwick. I mean, whew, that man is gorgeous. Okay, but anyway. So maybe yes, Miss D, please answer that question.
So we're okay. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. But Miss Tika says, whoever that dark skinned person was caused a bad experience for that person, but they don't speak for everyone. You make your own ideas and opinions based on what you feel /see.
That's it. That's it, friend. That's it. So we're going to jump into number 5. D, if you can answer that question in the comments. Everybody else, this is a judgment-free zone. Colorism, let's speak on it. Let's fight against it.
Right.
Number 5?
Yes, number 5 is, why do I or you or we have a positive attitude about light-skinned people? Again, so why do we have a positive, as society, have a positive attitude against light-skinned individuals?
So I will start on that. So my answer to that is, why would I not?
Okay.
I'm going to say that again. Why would I not have a positive attitude about light-skinned people? I'm sorry. I'm confused. I feel as if the world makes lighter skin tone as it's a top tier. so it's treated as that. So please do not take it out on your light-skinned family, friends, the ones you see on TV, whoever, because they didn't ask for this, okay? And some people do use it to their advantage, but it is also lighter skin who go through what we go through or worse. And I just want to put that out there. Yes, I'm dark skinned, but I know because I have people who have went through a lot. And it's really not about that. We're all literally one race. So like I said, why would I not have a positive attitude about light-skinned people? I actually love them and they love me. Don't need to get into details. All right. Danielle, you want to go?
For that question, it's going to kind of be the same as my dark skin folks. I don't have any negative thoughts towards lighter tone people. Honestly, I don't even think about it. Like, I don't think about that at all.
Some people really put their energy into it.
Yeah, I don't.
They're like, ew, he's light skinned, I don't want him. Or, oh, she's a red bone, she thinks she the shit.
Right,
like,
I don't put that energy.
So because she's a red bone, she can't think she's the shit.
Right. I don't.
If you think you the shit, you think you the shit.
Right.
No matter your skin tone. So it throws me off the stuff that I hear.
And I get what you're saying with the females. I ain't saw lighter me and
female,
females like, oh, she thinks she the bomb. Like, I don't pay attention to that. I don't give a damn what the fuck she. No offense,
why do you care?
I don't care what she has going on or anybody personally. Like, I don't have any nothing to say about that.
Right, and it's like, why do you care? I'm sorry, baby. It's like, why do you care that, you know, a red bone thinks she the shit?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Maybe she is the shit or she feels she is.
Right.
You can't knock that because of her skin tone and because society put out here that lighter skin is better. That means that you need to look within yourself if you're mad at what society put out here about lighter skin. Right. I'm sorry. That's something that you need to resolve.
Right. Within yourself,
right.
Definitely.
All right. Go ahead, babe. How do you feel?
I would like to say this. I think there's a lot of negativity towards light skin.
It is.
And I think it's not really something that a lot of people talk about. They talk about that, oh, light skin people think they're better, but they don't talk about the judgment and the negativity that does come to lighter skin people go through. As a light skinned mixed woman, I feel that it's really important to, you know, share your experiences with, you know, everyone, especially with, you know, you ladies and everyone that's tuned in, because I did not ask for the opportunity or the
you didn't ask to be that skin tone.
Right. I didn't ask to be light skinned. I did not ask to be looked at as if, you know, I feel like I'm better than anyone or that pressure to be better simply because I'm light skinned.
Exactly. And I just said that earlier. I literally just said that. I was like, they didn't ask for that.
Right. And I think that everyone looks at it like, oh, light-skinned people, they just have it so good, but that's not the truth.
I just said that.
That's definitely not the truth. And me personally, I just feel like that is definitely prejudice. It's definitely colorism. It's a lot.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like I don't get how you got, well, I'm not gonna say you guys. I'm gonna say I don't get how society can just say that light-skinned people have it so easy when that's not the case. If honestly we do have it rough. And I think that is the part where I say education comes in super key, because darker skin tones go through colorism and prejudice and racism. And light-skinned people have their own set of issues. They go through colorism, racism, prejudice as well. And if we were to understand each other and the struggles that we all go through and come together as one, the unity would be so beautiful.
Right. And I feel like, you know, I'm dark skinned, and I just feel like lighter skin complexion, light skin, whatever you want to call it, I feel like they're kind of like pulled. You know, they're pulled on. Mm-hmm. It's like you're over here, it's, I don't know. But I will say this, Shania, to you, and if you guys feel the same, jump in. I will say to you, Shania, even though you did not ask to be a lighter tone, you did not ask for this, you deal with your own battles with colorism and etc. Mm-hmm. But the reason that, you know, us and the world sees it as that way is because it's put out in the world that way. So it's not really, me personally, I don't think it's, these people going against light skin. It's just what the world put out there.
So not only that, lighter skinned people do get ahead and do get lots of privileges. They're dark skinned.
But she's speaking as in regards to.
I know, but I'm just
we
saying,
all don't get that privilege.
Right.
And she's one of them.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just throwing it out there that is one of the reasons why, society perceives lighter skinned people that way.
Right. Exactly.
So and I would say this too though, but why can't we change that? Why can't we? That's why I feel like unity is super key, and sharing each other's experiences from a darker skin, medium skin, all the way through, so everyone can understand that everyone goes through different struggles. And like I said, unity is super key, because if we were all to come together, share our experiences, our truths, the world will be such a better place.
Unity is key, but you have to change your mental and your cognitive thinking,
right?
For one. So if you don't change your thinking, then it's not going to change. And also, we can share our experiences, but we can't share our cultures. If you are not brought up in that culture, you're not going to truly understand that person's experience.
I agree with that. Okay. I agree with that.
But I do agree that if we can be more open,
that's from the what you're speaking on is from the cultural view, but what she's speaking on is the overall view of the world standing up to make that change.
And also, I don't see, me personally, I guess because maybe I'm mixed, I'm not sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong,
right?
I don't really see an issue with teaching each other, teaching different races, cultures. I
definitely think it is needed, because if it was more, I'm not going to really say taught, but definitely conversations was, spoken upon more, I feel like people will understand each other's culture and race more. And it would be more, even if they don't understand, they would be more interesting too. Empathetic or sympathetic.
Right.
Even if they can't truly understand.
Like, if, for instance, I was raised up black in a black household, but if I was taught, I don't know, from an Indian person or Asian person how they were raised and their lifestyle is, I could respect. I respect them. Don't get me wrong, but I could understand and appreciate their struggles, their experiences.
Yes, that's so true.
Right.
That is so
and
true.
I feel like a lot of times we don't. Instead of teaching them or correcting them, is sharing these cultural, activities or beliefs or whatever. We bash other people,
downplay them,
and we don't educate them. We just simply say, "Why are you acting this way? Why are you copying, this from this particular culture? Oh, you're is it called culture appropriating?" I'm not sure.
I get what
sure
you're
the word.
Instead of Colorism, I don't know.
I'm not sure the word. It left my head, but I think it's important to educate. Education is very important.
Right.
And not only educate, but just please be aware of what you're saying and stop engaging in being a part of the colorism and start fighting against it. So we're going to jump into the comments. Number 5 got really deep, y'all. So we're so glad that you guys are still here with us.
Comments.
So let's get into this.
Want me to go ahead and start, Miss Shania? Okay. So I'm going to go back. Miss Tika said, whoever that dark-skinned person was. Oh, hold up. That's, wait a minute. Hold on.
She got you. She got you.
She said, love that dark skin, brown skin, and the light brights.
Right.
Yes, friend.
Right. Thank you,
She also said, Miss D said that it's not that I didn't like them, I just wasn't attracted to them on a relationship/dating level. But I've always had dark-skinned friends and family that I love. Okay. And I think that goes back into what we were talking about earlier about it being okay for certain things, but not for other.
Right.
Others.
Love it, D.
And Miss Trotter said, same as before, it was always taught that light skin was better. But as you said, we all need to be treated as top tier.
Yes, Key. Yes.
Miss D also said it's also a society thing that has been taught since slavery. But there's also a lot of hate towards them as well, just for being lighter.
It is D, and it's really bad. It is when they didn't choose that.
Let me go ahead. Miss Trotter said, I get it tough as being a brown-skinned mixed woman. And I get told I'm lying about being mixed all the time.
Wow.
As if I can't be mixed with the darker skin. Right. Skin comes in all colors from all races. And that is definitely true.
Right.
Yeah, and I just want to say, Key, I'm sorry that, you experiencing that. That's like really, really big.
Because
colorism.
you know what? They do like,
that's bad.
Yeah, you're not mixed.
I don't know who telling you that, but they go ahead and cut them off because that's too much.
But I have heard that, they was like, oh, you're not mixed, you darker. Because like mixed supposed to come out
the
light.
fact that you're telling someone that, that's just not okay.
She also said perception is key.
That's very much so.
I'm Betty. I'm gonna call you. I'm Betty. I love you. Okay. Isaiah Rose said, "Hey,
hey, bro, love you."
Miss D said society controls and plays the biggest part in colorism. Correct.
I agree
because they train people from a young age that it's okay, and that the lighter your skin, the better you are, and the darker you are, the less. Another example tonight from me of this training from a young age. Ladies, think of when you were younger, Barbies and baby dolls. Think of how many options of lighter color dolls they had compared to darker ones, right?
Okay.
They only had one with the same design. Also think of accessories that came with them. Lighter ones always came with more and better options. It's subliminal, if I said the right, training you at a young age. Then you add immediate entertainment.
Right.
That's
something that's not talked about.
Who said that?
Miss D.
Miss D. Come on, D.
Yes.
Come on.
That is true. I ain't never think about it, but the lighter baby dolls.
I'm gonna say my parents they really gave us the chocolate babies.
Right.
I remember always having the dark.
But we had
babies.
some white babies too.
We did too, but it wasn't really.
But I think
but when D said it's true because that is really how it is.
And I would say that's definitely true because I was just in the store and see there was no darker skin tone babies. It was only light skin babies.
Wow.
Right. Miss Charter said, I agree, Shania. I don't have a problem with it either. I feel as though some black people get so offended and jump to conclusions without questioning to understand. It's amazing when others are interested in learning the way we live, the way we are brought up, and the different traditions.
Right.
Yes, that is very sexy too, especially if you in a relationship. Miss Ryder said culture, appreciation, yes.
Yes, I love it.
And she also said, I literally had to show pictures of my father before.
Wow.
That's
and
crazy.
That's just too much. That's just too much.
And yes, that's all I see.
And Miss Trotter also said, I make it a point to get my baby girl dolls that look like her. You are so right, though.
And you're right, and I feel like that's what our mom and my dad did. Because I do know with my boys, even though well, anyway, that's really what I'm about to say. But I do know that when I do get them action figures or whatever, I do try to get them the dark or whatever, just so they can see in their color, their brown skin in the toys as well. I think that's what it's about. For me, anyway.
I love it. So we're keep the comments rolling. We're gonna jump into number 6 question of the night. We got 2 more questions, y'all, for the night.
Right.
Colorism. Please speak up. Fight against it. Explain to us or talk about if you feel comfortable about your experience. Number 6, ladies.
All right. So number 6 is how does colorism affect you? I'll read that again. How does colorism affect you?
So I'll go ahead and jump right into it. So thank goodness. Colorism has not affected me, in my childhood that I know of. Let me correct that. Right. That I know of. When I was a child, I wasn't really paying attention to that. But it could have definitely been some things that were, brought to me in that manner that I did not pay attention to or acknowledge. But as an adult, I have been around a few people who talk down on darker skinned women. And I had to rep for the dark skins, okay? And when I say that, I mean like I've been around men, you know, not anybody I deal with, no.
Right.
Just around others who know others, and they're like, oh, you know, we don't date dark skinned women.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hold on, because to me, being in a room with you and I'm dark skinned, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I'm definitely gonna speak up. I'm very outspoken, and I don't, you know, allow any disrespect. So I had to definitely stand up because, you know, no matter your skin tone, we're all beautiful. But to single out a dark skinned woman in front of me, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Okay, so I had to check it. And I've definitely heard people say, you know, dark skinned men are better, you know, red bones are better. It's mainly that, from what I see, correct me if I'm wrong, for women it's more so of dark skinned men are better, light skin are played out or they just not in.
Right. Mm-hmm.
For men it's darker women are just not it. But them red bones is the ones.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe you're right.
All right. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to let you jump into it. Come on, comment and tell me what y'all think.
Right. So for me on that question, and I discussed this with the ladies as well, I don't know if I ever experienced colorism. As an adult, like I said, I'm not aware. I didn't pay attention to that clearly, you know. And as an adult, I really don't know. I can say that when I felt like, and honestly, as far as racism, I didn't really feel racism at all, barely, or even noticeable when I was a child. But I can say as an adult, I have experienced it. However, when I started thinking about the term colorism, I realized, did I really experience colorism or did I experience racism? Because I'm saying no that I didn't experience colorism as an adult, but I don't know if I did. When I went to a store one day, Family Dollar was running in and getting some warming products, and I spoke to the cashier and I was like, hey, how you doing? And I even asked where the products was at. Mm-hmm. And so I had went back out the store because I needed to get some more money. I didn't bring enough money in with me. And she was like, wait a minute, hold up. What you got? And I'm like, what? Whoa, lady, whoa, like,
and that is
what?
Not okay.
Whoa,
right.
okay. I'm like, hold up. I got on skin tights. My shirt is thin. Ain't nothing high, nowhere on this body. If I'm trying to do something illegal, I'm not gonna speak to you. I'm not gonna ask you where the product is.
You just gonna try to get
in
and get out.
So I'm like, whoa. So immediately, first of all, you're attacking me. So I got in defense mode, and she was lucky that I'm in the professional world because I probably would have had a charge. But I did tell her some words, and I did let her know what I had to say. Definitely when I came back into that store and left, okay? But again, I don't know if that was racism or if that was colorism, if she was labeling me for my color, or if she was like plain blatantly didn't like black people. Right. But whatever it was, I didn't like it. I wasn't feeling it. So
so I'm gonna speak on that really quick, not gonna be too long. So I feel like that could have been either or, in my opinion. So just use this as an example. The world, right? Mm-hmm. The world looks at blacks as, you know, they're robbers, they're killers, they're harmful people. Period. We're bad people. So when you walk into that store, a black person and another race walk into that store, who do y'all think that they're going to look at and they're going to target? And that's what happened to Danielle that day. She was targeted, and I feel like it could have been colorism or racism or both. But to me, y'all have to also understand, because they both go hand in hand, everything is not racism. So it could have definitely been because they all the world sees black as a target, that it's just colorism that, oh, well, black people rob, they kill, they do this and do that. So because they're black, I'm going to watch them instead of this other race, because that's not what this other race do. That's what black people do. Right. So I feel like y'all also have to look at it from that point of view, too.
So that's why I had to think about, like, I don't know what at that point I experienced. But again, when I confronted her,
it just wasn't cool.
Yeah, when I confronted her, she didn't have anything to say and didn't know, like, but it was definitely inappropriate.
Right. And I would say also, too, just to, piggyback off what you stated, I feel that the media only shows the negative
Right.
of, you know, African Americans.
Right.
There could be a mass murderer that was Asian, and a lot of the times the African American person will have a big old front of the
It's
page
everywhere.
Social media, you know, that will be advertised, but
On the news, talked about for a whole month.
Right, but the Asian individual has a little blurb in the bottom of the paper.
Right.
And they only talk about it for 30 seconds.
But they didn't kill
today.
But no, they didn't kill 30 people and trying to kill 30 more. I mean, what, you know, whatever.
So I definitely understand where you're coming from on that. Is it my turn? Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Colorism affects me because I am mixed. I often get too white for the black community, or too black for the white community, or stop acting black, or stop acting white.
Now, I definitely used to get that when I was little. Stop talking white.
Because people
still say that to me.
Right.
People consider talking white
as being educated and
right,
proper.
Correct.
Exactly.
They say education and, you know, being educated or being proper is considered, you know, white or light skinned or, you know, something like that.
But why though? You know why? Because the world presents it that way.
Correct.
And because that black people cannot be educated, or any other race for that matter, cannot be top tier or educated. So when they hear a black race or another race speak so highly, it speaks so educated and so proper, is why are you acting white? Well, in reality, honey, this is really how I was raised. This is how I talk, and this is who I am.
Right. I agree. And I also will say, colorism affects me because people often question whether I identify as black or white or other or mixed or whatever the case may be, and they'll say, well, you know, you look more black, so say you're black, or your father's black, so you should identify as black, or your mother is white, you have more white features, identify as white.
Oh my goodness.
People don't understand that, you know, that comes, you get both sides, you know, both ends of the stick, both ends of the candlestick is burning, in the sense that you get slack, you know, you get,
you getting pulled.
Pulled from both sides. And I will also say that a lot of times, how do I say it? It's like you're damned if you do or damned if you don't. Excuse my language. If you want to embrace your black side, you're wrong. If you want to embrace your white side, it's wrong as well. So colorism for me, it's both ends, and it's difficult to deal with. And I realized that it was actually colorism that I was experiencing once I did my research for this particular show, because I was blind.
Yes. Y'all don't understand, like, we really heal and learn so much with you guys when we are choosing a show to do. This is not something, you know, we overnight and we just playing for years. Like, we really are healing and growing with y'all and learning too. So that's what I love.
And I'm just going to say one more thing also. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I will also say that being a mixed woman and being light-skinned, oftentimes I am assumed to be a hoe or a homewrecker or prissy, or, you know, I think I'm better than anyone, or whatever the case may be. And me personally, I'm not like that, but it's assumed.
Right.
And I don't like that. I think assumptions are, it's a lot of people do it. I'm guilty of it, but I think assumptions based off the skin of, you know, the tone of my skin is definitely wrong.
It is. So I agree. Thank you, babe, for sharing. So we're going to jump into the comments. We love you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Let's get into it.
And hey to everyone that's watching tonight.
Hey y'all.
We appreciate it.
Miss Trotter said, in regards to your comment, Miss Danielle, about the action figures that you buy your boys, she says, so they can see that they can become anything.
Right.
Exactly.
She said, I was younger, I wouldn't dare now. Think what you want.
Right.
She also said it's a preference, they just don't know how to word it correctly, or maybe they're mad because the side they don't like was never interested in them. I think she was referring to your comments. And so
that's true, Key.
Right, and Miss Danielle, she said, "Wow," to your story, the situation that you had went through, and she said it was probably both stereotyping and judging you by previous experiences or what media and movies have portrayed Black people in those situations.
Right. But it was crazy. I'm like, I spoke to you, I was nice and everything. I actually went to product commissary.
Right.
To you.
Hi, Courtney.
Hey.
And Miss Trotter said, "I know you're gonna let me be educated."
Right,
exactly.
Right.
And Ms. D said, "Colorism has not affected me personally, but I have seen it affect people close to me. I've had a friend have to deal with people not believe her child was hers because her daughter was lighter and she was not."
Wow, that's honestly ridiculous.
People really do stop people and question them. Like, you know, like
I think you stealing somebody's child too, or
whose
child you raising.
Right, whose baby is that?
Right.
You know, there have been instances where people will literally call the cops on people.
Yeah.
And that's why I made that comment earlier this evening when I was speaking on the fact that Black comes in different shades. And like I said, you can be very light, you can be really dark.
Right.
But why does that correlate with that not being their child because they aren't the same complexion as the mother or the father?
It has to stop, but we're going to continue with the last question of the night, everyone, to end this off on a positive note. Okay, any other questions, Danielle?
Miss Trotter said, "I've always marked African American because of my skin color. However, you're supposed to mark what your father is. But say I did that and marked that I was white, Puerto Rican, and when they see me in person, she lied on her application, come up and identify, etc." Guys, right. Okay,
I can see that.
I agree. I can see it happening instantly.
Right.
So we're going to end this on, a positive note. We do hope that tonight's show help open some eyes, and it's helping everyone grow because it definitely did for us. It really opened us up. How you ladies feel?
I definitely agree.
Definitely made me aware. Like I said earlier, it made me aware that I was doing it, and
And I just want to say to everybody before we go into the last question, you are loved no matter the color of your skin tone. We're all one, and we really need to start fighting against this and standing up for it. Even if it's your friends and family you see, doing this. Colorism is not okay. It's just as worse as racism or any other, that's really major.
Right.
I would definitely say start fighting against it and speaking on it, please.
Right.
I love everyone on this live. We love you guys. That's why we do this. So, not only for us to heal and grow and open up, but for you guys to feel comfortable and open up to us. I just want to say everybody who did comment and speak on this, thank you, because that's not easy. Right. What do you guys want to say before we get into the last question?
Now, I appreciate everybody just tuning in to this conversation.
Right.
And if you haven't spoke, I thank you for watching, and
yes.
You might be talking to somebody else about it right now. Whatever
right.
the case may be, listening.
I definitely think this was a conversation starter. A deep, for everyone to kind of reflect on what they're doing in their own lives, what they've seen other people do. As always, our inbox is always open. If this is something that you want to talk about in depth, or maybe a personal experience that you went through,
exactly.
We're definitely open to talking to you guys. Don't be afraid to inbox us. We're here for you, and of course, we keep it confidential if you choose for us to do so. But we definitely just wanted to talk about something that a lot of people don't realize that they're doing,
and no one talks about. No one has ever talked to this about me in all my years. Talk to me about colorism at all. This is the first time. And I felt like our platform is the perfect place to speak on.
Well, I honestly never knew colorism was a thing. Honestly.
I thought it was just racism.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't even know colorism.
And that's a problem. So we really need to get this out here. Please share. If you are still on here, please share this live. because we really need to get it out here. So on that note, we love you guys. We're going to get into the last question of the night. Danielle, take it away.
The last question is, will colorism ever end?
So I'm going to go ahead and get into that. So I honestly don't know, y'all. I really don't. I hope so, because all skin tones are very beautiful,
Right,
in their own way. I feel like colorism and racism goes hand in hand. It's an everyday battle. It really is. That's really affecting the world. If we all come together and give more love, we could win. And that's just all I have to say. We have to do better as one. I think it's really making me sad right now, because I feel like a lot of things, because we're not taking that stand, you guys, it's not, we're not getting anywhere. And it's really making me sad, because I feel like, damn, why can't we all see the wrong? And we're not going to always see the wrong in everything or right away. But why can't we see the wrong? And if someone else we love don't see it, we enforce it in them and we educate them. Let's start coming together, y'all. Let's start giving more love. People are really out here going through it because of the skin tone, because of their skin tone. They're constantly being judged. Colorism is not even really spoken on, and it needs to be. And I really feel really, strong about this. So please get it out there, y'all. I'm not gonna cry. I was about to, but please get it out there. Go ahead, Danielle.
For me, I said no. I don't believe colorism will end until racism ends. I also stated until those stereotypes that are associated with one's ethnicity or race are construed or thrown away, to where one's mental can always to where one's mental can be changed and they can be treated as an individual first and be judged after. I don't think it's going to end.
Okay, I can understand that. Do I think colorism will ever end? I guess I'm in the middle. Yes and no. I think until everyone, like you said, sees a person as an individual first, but I also think that it's very important that everyone comes together and realize the power that they hold. Because if you let society dictate what you say, do, feel, and know, we're still going to be blinded. We're still going to be in the same divided, colorist mind frame.
Same divided culture.
Correct. I don't think people realize the power that we all hold within each other, and how much society does not want us to come together.
Right.
Because then they cannot control. Right. Then they have no control over us.
Let's learn to be leaders, not followers.
Correct.
So we're going to chime into the comments, you guys, before we end tonight. We love y'all.
Yes, we do.
Let's see. Miss D said, I didn't know about colorism until recently. Right. Miss Schroeder said, as long as there is media portraying one to be better than the other and people teaching younger kids that it will never go away, we all need to be treated as equal. It's okay to have a preference, but there's no need to voice how you don't like this and that about a person, because those things are not in our reach to control. Exactly.
And she said
we all need to become one.
I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, but I purposely wore this tonight. It says equality.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. I love it. Mm-hmm. And what you just said, Key, I love. Literally. Like, that's instilled here.
And Miss D send off the comments that we have thus far. Said, I think it will, but it will take a very long time to get there. I have the hope that a change will come because media is slowly changing and shining more love and spotlight on more skin colors and races. It's still not where it needs to be, but seeing more getting the spotlight, I love it. And if this can continue to change and grow for the better, there is hope. For the better, there is hope.
I love it, D. And I love how everything you spoke on, you spoke all night. You spoke nothing but truth and realness. Right. And I feel like you looked at it from both sides of view. And you also spoke on your own experiences, D. We cannot wait to see you are back with us, okay? So I really love that, D. Any other comments before I say what I had to say before we end it?
No, that is
all.
it.
So I just want to say we really love y'all. This conversation was very deep. We made it through, ladies.
Yes,
we made it through. But I do want to touch base real quick. So in 2 weeks, we are having Getting to Know Raw.
Right.
It's on April 27th in the Big Lots parking lot, 2911 Hirschberger Road. Okay. We will be selling chicken dinners, $7. And while you're there, you will also get to be educated on who we are, what we do, and what services we offer. Okay.
Right.
So please come join us on the 27th. And that's from 12 to 2 at 2911 Hirschberger Road, Big Lots parking lot. And if y'all want to let them know about our Easter event and what day?
April 3rd.
April 3rd.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes.
It is in the Big Lots parking lot as well. 12 to 3, right?
Yes,
We are having fun festivities for the kids, candy galore, bring them out. We can't wait. We're excited.
Yeah,
we got food. Everything, you know, bring them out.
Oh, make sure that the kids wear their masks and they have their baskets, okay?
Yes, bring kids baskets.
Yes, lots of candy, lots of activities, music, and fun.
So we just want to have fun with the kiddos, and this is Kickin' It Raw style, okay? So we
Kickin' It Raw Easter is going down.
Yes.
So we hope to see you guys on April 27th and also April 3rd. If you have any questions, please inbox us. You ladies have anything else tonight?
March 27th.
March 27th. 2 weeks. March 27th and April 3rd. Thank you, Shania.
Yes.
Anything
Thank y'all lovely folks out there for tuning in.
We really love y'all.
Yes, Charlie said, love the positive mindset. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we love you, Key. Keep being great. Keep doing what you're doing. We see you. We see all these other great businesses doing their thing. So please don't give up. And we can't wait to have you on soon.
Please
whether it's for business or the games. We love you.
Please like, share, comment on this video. Share with everyone. Get this conversation started with other individuals so we can continue to educate ourselves.
Right.
We'll see y'all.
And as we end it,
as we always say, hashtag Kickin' It Raw, hashtag raw, hashtag real authentic women. We love y'all, and someone just commented. Let's see. Love you, ladies. We love you.
Thank you. Love you too, girl.
I haven't been able to dance all night, y'all. This was a serious show. Love y'all.